Hello everyone, this is Jason from Primetime Aquatics. I've got Joanna here.
Hi.
Why don't you explain the scene about 20 minutes ago?
You mean when you burst open the basement door and you were freaking out, saying that you had to run to PetSmart because something was broken and it's the third one that's been broken? That?
Yeah, so to set the stage, you're actually seeing this video after all this has occurred, obviously, but we are supposed to go to the Wisconsin Dells in the morning for a baseball tournament. And as luck would have it, when you go to Wisconsin Dells or when you go anywhere on vacation and you're checking the fish room, something's going to go wrong. And that something was a hang on the back filter on our 75 Mbuna tank right over there. So yes, I had to run to PetSmart.
So it broke?
It did, it broke. But
Wait, can I ask a question? How did you know it was broken?
how did I know the filter was broken? No water was coming out of it.
Oh, like what happened in my tank that once.
Like what happened in your tank. So I, being the problem solver that I am, quickly went to PetSmart and got this. This is a Fluval Aquaclear 70 power filter. Now this is going to go on a 75-gallon tank. You may be asking yourself, isn't that a little underpowered? Were you asking yourself that?
Yeah.
That was the first thought that came to your mind. You could just see it in her eyes.
Actually, what I was wondering is, how many of these do you have in your fish room?
I have 0 of these in the fish room, and that's why we're going to do an unboxing today.
Oh.
It's different. It's better different. So on the 75, as luck would have it, in the last, I would say 3 weeks or so, we've had 3 older marine land filters, hang on the back filters, go out on us. Now they were all about 5 or 6, 7 years old, and they just kept going out one after another. And so finally I was down to no spare hang on the back filters. So I got this thing. So we're going to unbox it. I'm going to show it to you. If you are thinking about buying one of these, we'll show you what it's all about. So here we go. Are you ready? This is exciting.
So maybe you should have like a supply of them.
I normally have a supply of them, but when you go through about 5 of them in the last 6 weeks, that happens. Now we should understand, if you've been watching the channel, you know this, but if you haven't been watching the channel, our primary filtration in our fish room is air, right? We've got sponge filters in all of our tanks, and so if we've got a hang on the back filter, it really is strictly for one of 2 reasons. 1, for water flow, or 2, do you know what the 2 is?
No, I'm still trying to figure out. Sometimes you have both in one tank?
Yes, sometimes I have both in one tank.
Okay.
And the second reason is we want better mechanical filtration to pull stuff out of the water column.
No, I wouldn't guess that.
That's okay. I thought you were trying hard. So if you were to open the box here for the Fluval 70, you get instructions. We don't need those.
No, you should probably. And this is what I always do.
We also get this. I can't read this, but
Do you want me to get your glasses?
well, not because of that, because I think it's in a different language, one that I don't speak. But I kind of read this one. It says filter inserts. All right, so that we're going to set over here. And then we have the actual filter itself. Are you ready? This is going to be super, super, super exciting.
Ooh, it's shiny.
Nobody can see your face right now because it's on camera. All right, and that's it. This is what's so cool. Sorry, I didn't mean to knock you over. So this is the Fluval Aquaclear 70. It's very clear. You got the lid. Yay for that. And then as we open this thing up, the nice thing about the Fluvals, I've had these before, is you get this thing. And it's a compartment that holds all the filtration media. So we've got these things here. And all you have to do, this is going to go in the back. You insert this into here. Kind of. Hold on. I promise I will get this right. Okay, there we go. And you can adjust how far you want these things to go down. So we've got a 75-gallon, that's about 21 inches deep. So I'm going to actually add both of these like so. Just like that. And then this thing is going to fit right into the back. Like so. And then you can actually adjust the flow of these by moving this part left and right. So you can move this thing to the right and to the left. But this is the assembly. I know, it was really complicated, but you just put the hoses in, snap it on the back. Next thing we have to do is the filter inserts. And so we've got this box. At first I got worried because I couldn't read it, but I figured it out. Now, They give you sponge, brand new sponge. They give you a charcoal bag. Now we don't use these mostly because a lot of our tanks are planted, and so the charcoal would take out the nutrients that the plants require, so we're not going to use that. But we are going to use the biomedia balls that they give us in this bag here.
This is activated charcoal?
That is activated charcoal, carbon. Activated carbon. What is this? I don't know what this is.
Probably like a-
Okay,
Alright, wait.
I figured things out. Hold on. Shh, I'm so proud of
Show 'em what it
myself.
looked like.
This is a filter bag, and this stuff is going to go inside the filter bag. So they don't do it for you apparently, but luckily, if you've got an assistant, the assistant can hold it open.
Yeah.
It was a little
Right,
skinny
Benzo?
thing, by the way. Yeah, so
It
in the
looked like
box
this.
it looked like that.
It looked like this, but it was a long skinny thing, and I think he was about ready to throw it away.
I almost did throw it away. Actually, that was one of the things that wound up on the ground. So go ahead, hold that open. And then we take our biomedia balls here. And we're going to pour these in on camera. Oh boy. Probably should have done that over the sink. Pardon me. I'm going to go pour these in over the sink. All right, I'm back. Now, with these things, the bio balls, the media here, you're going to want to rinse these off in the sink because you're going to get white powder all over the place. And then I'm not going to, be super crazy about this, super thorough. I'm just going to tie it in a knot, kind of slide it down. And then we've got our bio bag. And I'll take some scissors and I'll cut this off. So what we're going to do then is with the media holder here, the sponge will go in here like so. And then we will put the biomedia in after that. And then what I'm going to do, if my lovely assistant, could you please go right behind you and grab a couple pads of filter floss. We have some filter floss in the fish room. It's pre-cut. We get that from gemco.com. Super cheap. And it's a great way to save a lot of money. And so we'll just take these already cut and I will place them on here like this. And the great thing about it is, and you could, if you really wanted to, you could place it anyway. The main point with the biomedia here is that once the filter is cycled, you can change out the other media. This stuff here will keep your microbes flourishing so that you don't ruin your cycle. So either way is fine. I'm not really all that picky. That's not cool.
Do you want me to get a scissors and cut it right now?
No, I don't. Okay. All right. Either way is fine. This just goes in here like so. Kind of like so. Like so. Like so. There we go. It's all going in the thing. And so we've got our media in the filter. We'll press that down. Now what we're going to do is I will fill this up with water. It would be best to use dechlorinated water, so use some type of dechlorinator. Fill this up, and then we're going to go ahead and attach it to the back of the tank, plug it in, and we can watch the water run. Does that sound exciting?
No.
No. It sounds exciting to me. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, so if we look, first of all, this tank has got a bunch of stuff floating around. There's a really good reason for it. If we look real close and you look at the intake of that filter, you may be saying to yourself, wow, that doesn't look anything like the Fluval intake you just showed us. That's because it's not. I literally just spent the last 45 minutes figuring out a major problem, and it is, in my opinion, a pretty big downfall already of this Fluval that I bought, and it's just quite frankly not something I even thought about rushing out to go get another filter. So the problem, I don't have a ton of space between the tank and the wall, and I built all of these stands where I needed to hang on the back filters. The marine lands are skinny and long, and they fit just fine. The problem, this Fluval Aquaclear filter, the Fluval 70, is probably I don't know, at least 50% wider. And that makes a big difference. So it's something you're going to have to think about. If you've already got a tank established and you've got a skinnier hang on the back filter that is separating, between the tank and the wall, this thing may not work. And so definitely don't make the mistake I made. Make sure you measure this. I had to go around the fish room and find a hang on the back filter that I was already using that would still allow me clearance. The other problem that I had on the 150, I had the wall clearance and I was going to switch that out, and I did. The problem is there isn't enough room between the intake and the body of the filter to accommodate a larger tank. My 150, the plastic rim was too wide to fit that. So that was extremely aggravating. The fact that this filter really, it's not going to fit a larger tank because the rim is too thick on the larger tanks, and these things are so wide that it's going to be a problem if you've already got tanks set up and established like I do. There's no way I'm going to break down a double rack or a triple rack just to move it out a little bit to fit this filter in. So it's just something you have to be aware of. I think the filter will probably work okay. We'll check on it in a couple of months, but that was certainly an aggravation that these things are quite a bit wider than the marine lands. So despite the problems, the filter is running. This tank is super cloudy. Again, anytime you're swapping out, hang on the back filters, stuff's getting in the water. I don't have the sponge filters running to kind of cut down on the noise when I'm shooting the videos. I will remove the bottom intake part there. Probably put an intake sponge on this intake as well because it's pretty wide, and that's going to clog up that filter pretty quick with all of these baby plecos in here. So there you have it. It's running just fine. All right, everybody. So besides the problem that we had with the width of the filter, and it is a big problem if you've already got tanks established a certain distance away from the wall, I think the filter's going to work out okay. We'll check back in a couple months, see how it's doing. So if you like this video, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.